Gulliver's Travels is an interesting... This genuinely acts like a part 2 to your video.
It's like a little after show. I might genuinely tomorrow when I edit it, I might record a little bit, being like, if you want the after show and afterwards, go to the Mad podcast.
Yeah.
The cast of it is what got me.
That was weird. And the fact that it's just...
Bit out of body.
Not good.
No, it's shit. It's out of body. It's not very good.
Doesn't make sense.
It's very 2010 though. It's a very 2010
It is
film.
very 2010. How's life? What's going on for you?
I'm good. I don't know if we're going to intro the pod or if this is still preamble.
No, this is preamble.
Sorry.
I'm ready to do the drunken version of our intro.
I'm good. I'm glad we've done another We Got Drunk and Watched, because I feel like that's a very underrated series on my channel.
Because
we've only done 2.
We've only done 2 of them.
Wait, what we did to Cats? Dear and Handsome but never really existed, and now this. So this is only the second ever episode.
Because you see, Fraser.
I do see.
Those are very good videos on the Fraser Oliver channel. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bloody Mediocre Fest podcast. I'm James the Nerdy Brisket.
I'm Fraser Oliver.
Oh, I'm not sure when this is going out.
Or if it's going out.
So,
context time.
Yeah, let's give them some context.
So, there's a series on my channel called We Got Drunk and Watched. Blank. Where basically me and James, I will say to James, there's this ironically bad film that I think we should watch. We watch it and have a drink while doing so. We've just watched
Gulliver's Travels.
That'll be up now on the Fraser Oliver channel. Go and watch it.
Yeah.
That'll be up now. And I sort of said to you, I don't think we can get this drunk and waste it on one Gulliver's Travels reaction. What else could we do? We played around like funny tier lists. And then you said, what? Because we wanted to bulk record in this Easter holiday dinner. You're like, why don't we just record an episode of the podcast? So I was like...
So it's now the Monday of the Easter holidays.
So we've recorded 2 episodes today.
Which I want to...
Because the episode that went up last week, we recorded that the same day we were recording this. Just about 4 hours earlier.
Yeah, so I want to say, this is the first day we've recorded 2 Mabs at once. Because logically, so for you, last Sunday's Mab was recorded the same day as... Because last Sunday's Mab was the... It wasn't draft.
It was...
blind rankings. We've actually recorded this the same day as the last... as the blind rankings.
I feel like an official podcast. We've recorded 2 episodes in a day. This is proper pod recording.
We are really cool.
But this one might not be tangible or actually be able to go out because
it will be able to grow up.
We were like, we're going to grow up. We grow up.
No, this is comedy.
Well, because we were like, right, so we want to record some like theme podcasts in this Easter. What could the theme of this one be? We were like drunk stories, drinks, and then James was like, what if the theme is just no idea? So this podcast is just going to be us whittling off pure shite.
Usually pronounced wittery.
What did I say?
Whittling? Like the thing that the scouts do?
Like chiseling to all I crave.
So
this is going to be us
we
chatting pure, even more than usual, because we usually chat shite.
Because we were going like, right, because I suggested the initial idea of let's do a drunk podcast. And then Fraser was like, right, what should we record? And I was like, the podcast is... We create a podcast off the fact that we are drunk and have no topics.
It's somewhere between a notes podcast and a theme podcast because we don't have any notes.
We don't have
a theme. No theme, so we're just sort of... The theme, I guess, is...
We are
pissed. Let's chat to a camera. You're that camera.
Hello!
I wouldn't be surprised if, like...
This is a 2-hour-long podcast.
My 2 thoughts were, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up having this to be like 2.5 hours podcast. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up ranking alcohols in this podcast.
Yeah!
And getting the little tier list segment of ranking alcohols.
That.
We spoke, because we started to speak a little bit in the video we just recorded, and I was like, no, this is good podcast content, about existential stuff, and the fact that any adult you talk to that has been to university will say, uni are the best years of your life. They were my best years. They were the fun years. So we're like halfway through our uni experience now, and I'm like...
So my dad has said multiple times that uni life was the best experience of his life. Bear in mind, not only are we halfway through, over halfway through uni life, but we are very, like, we are getting very close to the end of second year. Therefore, we're getting very close to the end of two-thirds of it. And honestly, that stresses me out so much in terms of, like, it's the thought of not only am I still suffering from depression, therefore, if these are the best years of my life, what are the worst like? And also the fact of, genuinely, I am quite happy in life vaguely at the moment.
This is great. Like,
but like, if it only goes down, and also, sorry, if my dad said that the happiest years of my life were his years at uni, that means his happiest years were without me. Therefore, Dad.
Yeah, that's a bit mental from you.
Like I was class.
Was. I love the fact he said was.
I'm not anymore.
But
shit.
what? So
I think that's actually the nerdy Brit that makes me not class.
I'm in two minds where I'm like, if this is the best years of my life, shit, it only goes down. But also, I'm like, I see where they're coming from. Because I think of stories that have happened since being at uni. I'm like, okay,
Jeez.
I distinctly remember a story of me, you, Jess, and Parker trying to cascade our way down a bit by Jess's old flat, trying to pick up some socks. And we were like holding on to bramble bushes in between shrubs. That's
very
funny.
humorous.
I remember recently, I've been told that me and you were running in the road, talking in Irish accents, and wine bottles on the road.
I remember
so
that.
like, in one head, I'm like, how is this the best years of your life? But then I'm also like, wait, yeah, this uni just spawned. So, like, even having our mate Fabian and then like Josh is down last week, I'm like, but then again, uni has spawned some absolutely mental moments where I've been like,
and
what
this
the
is where,
fuck is going on?
This is where I get to my point. First of all, shout out Fabian and shout out the Joshes.
Legends.
I love you all.
You're all great.
I can't lie. And second of all, does that imply that, because let's face it, so right now, we are at the point where, in our lives, where no one can specifically judge us for our alcohol intake.
Yeah.
And then the next time we have moved out away from parents is at an age where we're probably more responsible and therefore drink less anyway. So therefore, the question is alcohol specifically responsible for the amount of fun you have?
Yes. I think the thing is this is the first time.
Would I have had this much fun tonight specifically if I hadn't been drinking?
No.
Exactly.
Of course fucking not. If we'd recorded a Shrek video and not drunk, we would have had a laugh because they're always fun, but we wouldn't have had this level of we wouldn't be recording the podcast now.
Mm.
Like, and the thing is since like moving into student accommodation last year and the house this year, we're free to do, like, if I was at home, I'd be like, I can't get drunk. And if I do, I'd have to go to, like, Fabian's house, or you'd have to come here to get drunk. Whereas here, I'm like, this is my fucking, if I want to get drunk,
you just get pissed
if I want to get drunk, I will get, it's a fucking Monday night, I'll get drunk if I fucking want to. I've got nothing tomorrow. Who says you have to get drunk on a Saturday? If I want to get drunk on a Monday, I'll fucking get drunk on a Monday. And, like, I know for a fact that
that's kind of embarrassing.
when we leave uni, and whether we're living back with parents or wherever, we're not going to have that freedom.
No.
Because we're going to need a full-time job. And then we're going to be like, I can't just get drunk on a Monday. So this night is kind of going to go, while I'm at uni, I'm just going to go fuck it. Like, who fucking cares?
What's the point? Who cares anymore?
Like, what? When I leave uni, yes, I need to get my life together. While I'm here, get the grades. Other than that, who gives a shit?
Let's
just have a drink.
Live a bloody
Have
little.
a drink. If you're going to sing Sunshine on Leith at 2 a.m, let's sing Sunshine on Leith at 2 a.m. We haven't had any noise complaints yet. How the fuck have we not had any noise complaints?
We are noisy.
We were sat at this table a couple of weeks ago singing Proclaimers and duets at like 4 o'clock in the morning. No noise complaints. Because we're detached on both sides. Which I feel like it's a very, like, uncommon thing for a student house, is to be detached on both sides.
But apparently we can get away with it, so let's get the bloody way with it.
So let's just, who gives a fucking shit? That's kind of my takeaway from tonight is, look, am I ever going to get to go to uni again and be 20?
No, apparently
not. So
not.
let's fucking do it.
Which is also depressing, because that's what scares me. Like going back to the general fact of, if this is the happiest years of my life, this is, like, it's that pressure of going, this is the happiest I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, consistently. Like, and I'm there like, good, I'm glad I'm in a place where I'm supposed to be happy. On the other hand, if this is the consistently... I can't lie. If this is the happiest life gets, then... shit.
But then on the other hand, I'm like, all I'm dreading, the only time I'm dreading is between the ages of, let's say, 30 and 50. Because I know for a fact, from talking to family members, but also hearing people talking like podcasts and shit, that once you get to 50 and above, you don't care anymore. You go back to like the mindset you were in 20, where you're like, who cares what people think of me? So only between the ages of 30 and 50, and I'm going to be shit. And then from then I'm like, I'm retired. Who gives a shit? I can do what I want again. So I just have to get through ages 30 to 50.
The only thing, because... let's face it, like, I've been given that advice, for example, my dad, but he was never, like, the most caring of human beings, I can't lie. My only reason for thinking my life could get more enjoyable than this is the fact of, I'm not sure if I've said this on the podcast directly, I think you know this. My life's goal, and this is where we're starting to get existential, like I have said multiple times, I could have, like, a very successful acting career, or be a very successful parent and family man. Which would you choose? I would fucking love the successful acting career. I would choose the successful family.
Yeah.
Genuinely, my life's goal is to have a family and to be a good husband and a good dad.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want so much in terms of, I want the family, I genuinely do want children at some point in my life. I know that is one of my goals in life. And therefore, I know that, like, more than acting or YouTube specifically is right now, I know that at the end of the day,
you're another
like,
day older.
But like, genuinely, because I know that's what I want more than anything, my life and the success I deem it to be has to come down to the fact of, like, at the end of the day, specifically my kids, and have I had kids, and have I tried to give them the best start in life? Like, I am, like, this is drunks, therefore it might get a bit deep, but that's okay, that's probably what we want.
Yeah.
Like, I probably consider myself quite a quote-unquote selfish human being in terms of, you know, like, I back myself a lot of the time more than I back other people.
Yeah.
I think the point that changes the most is when I have kids.
I mean, there's a YouTuber we'll both know called Zach, also as in Zach and Jason, and he literally has a tattoo on him. The whole motto of his life is something like making stories for the grandkids or something like that. And even Robbie Knox, who I know we both love, his whole thing, whenever something bad or inconvenient or even good happens to him, his look on it is, it's a story. So I've kind of taken that forward, and I'm like, whatever happens to me, whether it's good, bad, horrific, funny, that's a story I can tell people. And that may sound wanky, but it's like having that concept of whatever happens, it's a story.
Yeah.
In 10 years, I could be going, oh, me and James got drunk, started talking Irish in the middle of Penryn, and then threw our wine bottles in the road.
Exactly.
That's a story. There's a story. So, like, that, I'm like, you know what, yeah, as long as I got to the end of my life and I'm going, I have got a lot of random good stories that I could tell. Waiting outside of Bristol Hippodrome for 45 minutes to meet Jack, mate, Robbie Knox, Stevie White and Alfie Indra. That's a story. Like, there are, whatever I do, I'm like, there's a story here that I can tell someone at some point.
Again, to take this to a serious note, for example, but, like, I've had conversations with certain people, and, like, the big one that sticks out in my life at the moment right now is I've had conversation with Parker, for example.
Yeah.
and I have gone, I want to be the dad that is so accepting that my kid doesn't feel like they have any problem telling me who they are. So to take this to a slightly deeper note, which
which I kind of think we need,
which I wouldn't usually tell on a sober podcast. I don't care telling.
But I think that's kind of what the Drunks podcast is for. Is there's no. Because usually when we do a podcast, at least me, I'll go, here's a thought, put it through that mental sieve. Sometimes it'll get stuck. I'm like, right, well I can't say that. Whereas now that sieve's kind of gone. So I'm like,
So, for example, I have never come out about my bisexuality to my dad, not because I think he wouldn't accept it, but because I just don't have the strength in that relationship to feel like...
Like you don't have the confidence in that relationship. Or like
genuinely... And this is probably, to me, even sadder than that. To the fact of, I don't have the desire to tell him due to the fact of our relationship just isn't strong enough for me to have that want and need to tell him that I am a bisexual man.
Like, you've not got that desire of being so close that you're like, I feel like this person needs to know this.
And I've, like, especially, for example, the big thing that's going on right now is, like, America has had, like, certain transgender bans and things like that. And obviously, your boyfriend, but, like, the person I live with and have tons of conversations with, like, is Parker, who has seen that. And I just, like, I translate... And obviously I have conversations with Parker in terms of, he is my friend, like, we just have fantastic, inspirational, interesting conversations. But it also goes beyond that in terms of, I have conversations with him, and not only from his perspective, if any of the laws that were happening in America were happening in the UK... I would want to be out on the streets.
I'd be out. I would be like, I'd have my A4 sheets. I'd have my markers.
I would want to be chinning policemen, and fighting
any of
and
that
dying for
here,
that cause. I feel like that.
The whole house would be out and be like, no. Like, I genuinely have no problems into going in the middle of Falmouth with fucking signs and being like, I'm not fucking moving. Like,
but like, even then, and it's weird as a 20-year-old having that conversation with myself, but I'm there going, I never, ever want my kid to have to feel like they're in any form of that situation at all, whether it's in terms of the position that they are vocally able to speak about who they are as a human being, to whether they're at the point of they feel like society is going to or is about to persecute them for who they are. And that makes me emotional.
Yeah.
And it's
just fucked up. Like,
it is
the whole...
fucked up completely.
Like, I could do a whole fucking podcast on, like, the government and, like, how any power is just completely fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, all the stuff that Rishi's been saying, and, like, oh, conversion therapy. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck do you know? Like, where we've got, like, the health secretary, a financial secretary, we need, like, an LGBTQ plus secretary. Because we need... Because,
we're not
like, the health secretary, they have gone to medical school. They've done. They are fully qualified. Financial, yes. They have business qualifications. Who the fuck is making decisions for, like, the LGBTQ? Some random, like, what? Some random Tory? No, like, we need to have, like, an LGBTQ secretary, someone who is part of the community, understands the community, and knows what they want. Not Rishi Sunak. What the fuck does he... What? Like...
Right,
It's
I've
mental. Imagine putting someone who's never done any sort of business degree in charge of financial stuff. You'd be like, what do they know about financial stuff of the economy? Nothing, exactly. And what does he know about?
The problem is, that's how, because they, as far as I know about government, they don't hire ministers of blank as people who necessarily know. So the big example I know is Matt Hancock, speaking about his experiences. He does, because obviously he was health secretary famously during the pandemic.
In COVID, which was,
He doesn't have to know this and that about health. The idea is he is a politically elected MP, and therefore his department has health experts, and his job is to be, quote unquote, outside of health, and therefore be given evidence and therefore make decisions.
But that
it's sickening. It's sickening. I know.
The fact that we haven't gone.
Who knew a drunk podcast would probably be the most serious podcast we'd ever do?
But like the idea of giving someone the control of a department they have no idea about just because they can make decisions is like, why would you do that? Like, they've got no idea at all what they're talking about. They're looking at figures and statistics and making decisions off that.
Have you heard this statistic, which I think links to what we're talking about, so I will say it. Apparently, and I'm not sure how proven this is.
Okay.
This is something I have heard.
Let's say allegedly, just to cover our
apparently, a third of the people who voted for Brexit are now dead.
Well, that is mental. I mean, I've always said that, like, having, like, 80-year-olds vote seems like, I don't want to be a cunt, but it's like, you're not going to be here when these lot are in power, so why are you having a say? Like, I don't want to become all fucking, like, a dictator. But it's like, if you're 80 and voting, you're not going to have any sort of... What you vote isn't going to have a repercussion on your life. You're dead in 10 years.
That's the problem of going... Right, you have to be 18 to vote.
Yeah.
But the people that, like...
There are 16-year-olds who are more politically informed than 80-year-olds who go, go back to where you came from, Brexit.
But it's more than that in terms of the 16-year-olds that want a vote are going to be more affected by the decision and the outcome of said vote than the 70, 80-year-olds that are suddenly allowed to vote. And it's like, let's be honest. No, just because you are, like, let's be honest. Just because you are closer to death than the average 16-year-old doesn't mean you shouldn't be not allowed to vote. No. But the problem is, you have to admit, and let's face it, no one over 70 watches this podcast. No. But your voting decision...
It's not going to directly affect the rest of your...
But that means the same as an 18-year-old voting. The 18-year-old voting, for example, on the issue of Brexit a few years ago, they are going to have to deal with the impact of that decision a lot longer than the 70, 80-year-old who voted 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And apparently,
that's the thing.
a third of you are dead.
Because Brexit, like anything like that, doesn't happen overnight. You vote, right, we want to leave. 3-4 years before that actually comes into action. By which point, the person who voted that could be dead now. So it's like, sorry, I'm just gonna check on my chips.
Yeah, that is a bomb imploding. That's chips.
So it's like they could have voted for this thing. By the time it's implemented, they're dead. And then the 16-year-olds who couldn't vote are like, what the fuck? We've now been left in the dark.
Yeah.
I did not expect this to get this sort of political.
But
I'm glad it has.
Like, no, but it's important because I think we are saying the things that we genuinely feel and mean.
We will get a bit more light-hearted, I promise.
Because I think, yes, if I was to live in... Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to speak. I edit this podcast anyway.
That is
so,
true.
The thing is, if I was to live in any other country in the world, I am more likely to have less freedoms, less this, less that, than most other countries I could live in. My issue is, I live in the UK, therefore, yes, I admit, me and Fraser talk from our perspective, a quote-unquote privileged position. Because I want to address these issues fairly, but yes, I'm going to speak from a UK perspective, and the problem is, consistently, Tory voters are older demographics, because I hear the way my own dad talks, for example, and he will talk passionately about the lack of trust he will have in Labour. That gives me confidence, because I hope our generation will feel as strongly about the negatives of a Conservative government as much as my dad's generation will feel negatively about a Labour government.
I think we'll go, I don't have trust in the Tories because of Boris Johnson, or because of Theresa May, because of Rishi Sunak. Yeah. So I'm hoping
I would rather not vote Tory. I would rather not vote. Sorry, let me phrase this properly. I would rather not vote at all than vote Tory.
Yes.
And I would be very surprised if that statement changes until the day I die, because of the way the Tories have treated and because my generation is the most quote-unquote impressionable generation.
Yeah. I can't speak on your dad's generation of going, because of Margaret Thatcher, because of this, that and the other, Tony. I can't speak on that because I wasn't, either I wasn't alive or I didn't have enough brain.
I was a fetus, come on.
Either I wasn't alive or I was 2 or 3 and didn't have any sort of impressionable mind. Whereas now I'm going, in 20, 30 years, I can see myself saying, I will never vote Tory because of how Boris Johnson, Theresa May, Rishi Sunak treated my generation when I was 20 odd. I can see myself saying that sentence, kids, grandkids, or nephews, whatever, going, I won't vote Tory because this is how they treated us in the past, so why would I do that? But that's the problem, is because the parties change from year to year, but I will never vote Tory till the day I fucking die because of the way they've put themselves onto our generation. I don't think any of our generation, or the majority of our generation, are gonna go, why would we vote Tory? Or at least the majority of our generation who are politically awake and have some sort of sense.
Politically, the complete and utter problem is the fact of, I do not feel like, even if I voted Lib Dem, if I voted Labour, if I voted for the fucking Green Party, if I voted for Count fucking Binface, the problem is, as a young person in politics, I do not, for a single second, because even with Labour, I don't feel represented as someone who, because I've said this multiple times, if I was to ever create my own party...
I got some cheesy chips, lads.
Yeah. So,
where were we?
So, Facebook Watch...
Facebook Watch? Oh, the video chips.
And I saw this video... So, question time, very, political stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw a bloke...
big question, things like that.
Because obviously this is transitioning to me if I was a politician. And I saw this bloke going, I make 80,000 a year, and under the new Labour policies, you would tax me more, but I'm not in the top 10% of earners in the UK.
Right.
And my thought was, if you are in the top 10% of earners in the UK, fair enough, get taxed more, because why are the as the Tories have put us, scum of the earth, being taxed the same amount as the rich bastards? And even if 80 grand a year isn't in the top percent of the UK, which I'd be very fucking surprised if you got a random top a random 10 people, and there was even one person saying, I earn 80 grand a year in the UK, I'm sorry, if you earn 80 grand a year, that is enough to support you and your partner and your children and have plenty fucking nice holidays.
Yeah.
80 grand a year and you are moaning about getting taxed more. Honestly, like half of me goes, I get it. Any human being wants to go, I earn this wage, I don't want this wage to be taxed because tax is bad, I lose money. On the other hand, I go, if you are arrogant enough to go, I earn £80,000 a year, bearing in mind my parents have never, in a financial year together, their salaries combined, earned close to half of that money, I feel sick.
Yeah, it's
to go that someone could look at 80,000 and go, don't you dare tax me anymore. Fuck yourself. I'm sorry, in the UK, in this climate, you earn plenty. Don't, and this...
Because the thing is, it's all contextual.
Yeah.
Like, you could say, oh, 70, that's fucking nothing. But it's like, well, to you, maybe not. To someone who's living in, like, council housing, no, I'm not saying, council housing, fucking hell, but, like, someone living in council housing, struggling for an Asda shop, that's like winning the lottery. It's like, you can't categorise these things by just your experience. It's all contextual to how the person lives. Like, it's just mental how they just go, oh, we can categorise every person who earns this amount of money. It's like, no, you can't. They might have 12 fucking kids.
Yeah. And that's why, if I was to quote-unquote ever be a politician, I would say, oh what, you earn 75k a year or above? You are in the, apparently, top 10% of people in the UK. I would genuinely say, don't vote for me. I will not fight for your rights.
Yeah.
I will never represent you, because if I was in politics, I would say the majority of people are earning less than 25k, if not less than 20k a year, and yet I'm supposed to feel sorry for people that earn £80,000 a
it's like,
year.
at that point, you're better off, you personally, you may as well just go vote for the Tories. If you're in the top 10%, go and vote for the Tories because they'll fight for you. Do not vote for me because there's no fucking
At the end,
point.
I would go as far to say, you are actively complaining on live television about the fact you earn 80k a year. Shut the fuck up. You disgusting mole rat of a human being. I don't care. You are complaining that you will get taxed on 80,000 a year.
Of course you're going to get fucking taxed on your
Don't you fucking dare. Because trust me, 80% of the UK, probably more like 90%, do not resonate with your position at all, you scumbag.
The only people that are going to resonate and sympathise with your position is other people who are in your position, who also I don't care about. Like, the only people who are going to fight for you is the people I also don't give a shit about, because yes, you're only
I don't care about your peers.
Yes, we'll tax you. I don't care about you, all the people that will stick up
for
you.
Like, not gonna lie, you earn 50,000 a year.
Yeah.
You earn enough to support, right, the way I'll clarify this is 50,000 a year is probably double what my mum and dad make combined. Therefore, if you as a single human being earn more than what I know my, let's face it, because the problem is, my parents, they don't live an easy life, but they don't struggle.
The word is that they're not struggling.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, I can go and spend 50 quid on this, that, but they're not like, I don't have any. Yeah, they're
if
they can.
Yeah. If you are a human being
They can afford an
that singularly earns more than two people that are from my livelihood combined earn, I don't feel sorry for you.
No.
Because I know they I would describe them as they struggle, but they can live okay enough with both their incomes combined.
There's a certain amount of money where you can live comfortably and exist and actually be able to have a life, but not be able to spend 100 quid on this, that, and the other. If you're at that state, fine. If anything where you can spend, where you can go out to the shop and go, oh, there's a 50 quid this, there's 100, and go, I can buy that. You're like, right, fine, do that, but I'm not going to be representing you, because you're clearly
That's my thing. Genuinely, if you and your single income brings in more than my personal parents do together, then I don't have sympathy for you. Because if you are, for example, on 80 grand a year and are complaining, like, if you're on 80 grand a year, single outcome, you don't deserve that money.
No.
Because surprise, surprise, yes, you should be funding the majority of the expenses and the government tax that the UK as a country needs, because surprise, surprise, if you earn 80k a year, not gonna lie, half of that money, especially if you're talking about single incomes, you, as a person, do not need 40 grand a year to survive. And that's implying that half your income is going to be taxed off you. No chance. It's disgusting. If you think, oh, I earn 80 grand because I work for this business, I really deserve that, and you think you deserve that more than the people working at fucking supermarket cashiers, or as supply teachers, or as junior doctors, you think you deserve to keep that percentage of your wage more than those people do, you are sick in the head. You are
in that case, go and vote Tory and have fun with them. Go and party with Rishi and Boris. Like, if that's genuinely your thought process, then I don't like. Fine, go and vote for Tory. Have fun with them.
Because guess what?
Because you
well done.
You don't deserve anything better.
You're one of them now.
If you're in the top 10%, good. Go and have fun with them. Have your wine, your little garden. Go for it. I don't give a shit.
What was your good funny list? Because let's move on.
Let's like the move.
Because I want to kill people.
I was looking for alcohols ranked. There wasn't one, but I've got top 17 strange number. Just drinks, soft drinks, beverages ranked.
Okay,
and these are specifically UK ones.
More optimistic. Let's do beverages.
Although
ranked.
James, this is going to make me want to kill people because number 17 is coffee.
So last on their list is what I would call the people's beverage. It's coffee.
It's coffee.
Coffee.
And apparently that's their 17th.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ. 16 is hot chocolate. I've never been a big fan of hot chocolate.
Sorry.
It's a bit naff.
Hot chocolate.
How that's better than coffee is
over
beyond
coffee.
Me. Like,
is wrong.
Because it was coffee. You can have coffee, iced coffee. I don't mind an iced coffee.
Mocha. Flat white.
Like, coffee is
latte,
so vast. It's like,
cappuccino.
If you say you don't like coffee,
black.
There are so many
white,
coffees.
Michael Jackson, I bloody love it.
Good. 50. Oh, James. This is too much for Britishness because 50 is Earl Grey tea.
The problem is, I bloody love a cup of tea. Earl Grey is actually the worst
The
kind
only
of tea.
I think I'll have is like just a is it English breakfast? Is that like what? Just tea
English
is?
breakfast is a classic tea. Earl Grey is just a disgusting type of tea. It's not for me.
The only tea I drink really is just English. If that's what a normal PG tips is, then I'll just have that.
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey, grow up. Oh God, there's not fucking Jesus Christ. Oh, 14 English breakfast tea.
But I'm glad. Then again, coffee is above English breakfast tea.
We've gone from English breakfast tea to Lucozade. What the? We've got coffee, hot chocolate, Earl Grey, English breakfast,
boys.
Lucozade.
If you like Lucozade
How's the
above
nursery going
coffee, like,
You enjoy
how
touching
old is
kids?
that child you're touching?
Are they enjoying it? You enjoying
Also,
it?
just comment down below so you can out your sense as a paedophilic nonce.
We'll stay on that paedophilic nonsense with number 12.
Are you allowed to say paedophile on YouTube anymore?
Yeah, you're not allowed to say nonce apparently. Who cares?
It's this podcast. who cares?
Number 12, we'll stick on the nonce theme with Dandelion and Burdock.
Oh! So,
just
right.
go for a life sentence in jail.
So my first ever girlfriend.
Yeah? Oh God.
So weird.
This makes it better because I know the context of who that is, so I can.
No, so we dated over so we dealt with a lot of the different ups and downs of the COVID lockdown.
Got it. Oh yeah, yeah. No, because you were together during a lot. Oh God, yeah.
So if it was peak lockdown, our fun dates would be Asda, and we would sit in a car. Oh, we'll grab a takeaway. Then we'll go to Asda for a bit. That was our fun dates. And
you couldn't go out anyway.
Every time we'd go to Asda, she would pick up a dandelion and burdock
I
for
don't
her
want.
dad.
I don't want a drink that one of the names is of a literal weed plant that you get in your garden that you think I don't want that. If the name
I
of
don't
it.
want
Oh,
that.
what the fuck is a burdock? Who's burdock?
What is a
Dandelion.
burdock?
Dandelion. Shit plant you don't want in your garden.
You've been docked
Who
points
the
on.
shit is burdock and
deal
why
or
is
no
he in
deal?
my drink? Burdock, get over yourself.
Literally.
Idiot. Hate you.
Fuckwit.
11 is lime and lemonade. Now, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to slightly advocate for lime and lemonade on the pure thing of if I'm driving but have driven to a pub for other people, lime. If I don't want a non-alcoholic cider or beer or something, lime and lemonade is usually my go-to if I'm driving and can't have alcohol.
Problem is, I can
quite
just
nice.
see a lemon and lime zero from Tesco here, and all I will say an advocation for that drink is if you put that in. Say you tell me right, skin doggy dog. You
'Cause everyone
can't
calls you
drink.
Skin Doggy Dog.
Everyone. You tell me you can't drink. I would rather a lemon and lime zero than a lemonade, and therefore
I
I'll
agree.
give some advocation.
Lemon and lime's better than lemonade, I think.
Exactly.
Number 10, very vague here, with just squash.
What squash?
Huh?
Because if that was
all the things that
lime
they
cordial.
They put Ribena, Vimto, and Robinson's, the most popular varieties. That's not varieties, that's browns.
See, if
You
that's
can get Robinson's orange, blackcurrant, strawberry, tropical,
Yeah,
summer fruits. Come on!
I don't agree with that ranking because it depends on the squash.
If it's a orange squash, that's different to a blackcurrant squash, different to a summer fruit. You can't just put squash. That's like just putting alcohol.
Yeah.
No, there's different types of alcohol. Please
Exactly.
specify, idiot.
Be
What's your favourite type of squash?
specific. I will go right as a kid. Every night for dinner, I'm not sure what brand this was. I think it was some form of supermarket owned branded at the time. There was an apple and pear squash.
No, I had that Tesco. I had a Tesco apple and pear squash growing up that was.
And you make it strong,
Right, people that.
and that was cummy.
Right, people that have squash with that much squash, I'm like, you can't taste that, that's water. Please. I don't care, I will have a properly strong squash. If I'm having squash.
I'll see a bottle that goes, oh yeah, double strength squash.
That's fine.
I'll have it stronger than most people have
Yeah.
a single strength
I
squash.
don't care.
Because I'm cool. I'm just really cool and I have that squash at the right strength.
This list is about to piss me off, James. Because I realise it's just a classic British cocktail.
What does that mean? Oh, a classic British
It just says
cocktail.
cocktail. Popular
Fuck
British
off.
cocktails include mojitos Bellies,
Mediocre.
Brambles, Cosmopolitans.
Cosmopolitans.
Sorry, that you can't put. It's the same as squash. You can't put classic British cocktails. That's such a vague fucking thing, you silly wanker.
What?
No, mate, it's English wine. There's
Oh.
so much wine.
Because as
You
soon as
can't
it's
just
the bloody
put
French
English
wine, oh
wine.
no, I won't
What?
have that.
Buckfast.
Wait, do you mean
Number
Bucks
7
Fizz?
is no. Is it? I don't think it is Bucks Fizz.
Is it Bucks? Wait, what?
It's just Buck. That's not Bucks Fizz.
Oh, Buckfast.
What the fuck is Buckfast?
What is Buckfast?
6 is mead. I'm not a
Wow.
bar ye oldie pub.
What
Mead? Oh, in me little tankard, is it?
Do you
Fuck
mean a Stella,
me.
dickhead?
What? Oh, this is
A fucking
stupid.
Stella Artois.
5 is ciders. I do quite like a cider. I can't really knock that.
Mead below cider, eh?
4 is real ale. Okay, now we're getting into some actual drinks.
Ah, bosh.
3 is vodka martini. No,
Sorry.
vodka martini.
Sorry, so they were like,
English
oh yes,
cocktails and
English
then
cocktail.
vodka martini.
Oh, specifically a
I-
martini.
I think I've had a couple. Like espresso martinis are good.
The problem
I've
is,
never had a vodka martini.
a vodka martini will be vile, and I know it will.
Vodka's horrible.
As soon as you tell me, right, it's a passion fruit martini, it's an espresso martini, I'm buzzing. If it's just a vodka martini, I'm going to shoot myself.
You know the Tories we were just talking about? Number 2 is Pimm's.
Sorry, coffee was the worst
It was
thing you
17.
said.
Number 2 is
I'd
Pimm's.
rather have a coffee than a fucking Pimm's. I think we should do an entire podcast
James.
in posh voices.
James, number 1 is gin and tonic.
Sorry.
Several things to say about this, right?
Right,
Gin,
okay.
Gin is okay. You can get flavours of gins, it's fine. But tonic water
Tonic water.
tastes like static television.
I forgot
Tonic
to
water.
admit,
But
I'll say this down the lens.
yes, go on.
I have never been fond of gin, or specifically tonic water.
You sound
What?
like Michael McIntyre.
Oh!
Hello.
Hello!
Like-
What the fuck is tonic
I
water?
don't mind gin, but if I'm having gin, it has. Are you okay?
Suicide.
If I don't mind gin, but if I'm having gin, it'll be with lemonade and not tonic, because tonic water, it's like sparkling water. Don't
is
do it to
fucking
yourself.
piss, man.
How's that talk? That was a shit list. There's no. Give me a topic. I'll find a list.
Shitless
We'll
list.
do another one. Shitless
Great
list.
finds.
Matt reacts to
Right.
Schindler's List. We got drunk and watched Schindler's List.
Alright, see if there is a tier list for kitchen implements.
Kitchen utensils, right?
Kitchen utensils ranked. If there is, if not, we'll just end this podcast right here and now.
Okay, but if there is kitchen utensils ranked, the most handy, the 5 most handy kitchen utensils ranked.
Let's do it. Let's fucking
Jesus
do it.
Fucking
Sorry, so
Christ.
this has gone from politics,
Oh.
basically, to kitchen utensils.
Number 5 is a knife sharpener. What the fuck? How is
So you're telling me there are only 4 more input? So, pot, pan, knife, fork. Oh no! Don't have enough room for spoon!
I think. So I don't think pots. I think this is going to be like things you find. I think it's like ladles and mashers, and I don't think pots are even that.
So wait, so what is 5? Go on, reveal it to us.
4 is a garlic crusher. Over a knife or a
Oh,
masher
4.
or a ladle or a spoon, they put a garlic crusher. Just use your knife on the fucking horizontal.
Chop! Chop up the clove of garlic!
Number 3 is a set of measuring spoons. Just get some scales.
Eyes. You've got eyes. Oh, this is less than I used for this recipe, but this is a less garlicky recipe.
James.
So I used as what's 2?
It's a zester. A fucking zester.
Sorry.
I've never been cooking
problem
and gone,
is-
shit, I don't use a grater.
I didn't know a zester was a specific item of crockery.
But also, I've never gone, shit, how am I going to make this meal without my trusty
The
old
problem is,
zester?
we don't make 80 grand a year, so we
James,
don't know
what
about
do you
this
think number
kind
1
of thing.
is?
I think number 1 is a potato masher. But then again, I don't, because... Oh, no, the upper class don't mash their potatoes.
Spatula. It's a spatula. Who needs a spatula and for what? That was the 5. So the 5 best kitchen utensils are a knife sharpener, a garlic presser, a fucking spatula, and I can't remember the other 2. Oh, a zester, and a set of measuring spoons. None of those 5 have I ever gone, shit, I don't have this. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus episode.
Mad audience. Subscribe.
What are the rules?
Because we've lost our mind.
James, it's only 9:30.
That's really embarrassing.
Are we still going to drink after this?
I am.
We're going to put the Game Turns Black on?
Yes. Watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And
Season
support
12,
Wrexham. I actually want to buy a Wrexham football
you
shirt.
said this. You should.
Yeah, no, I will.
I'd back it.
Back 'em. I've got a Wolves shirt going. Those, my next 2 football teams
shirt as well.
that I want to back are Wrexham and #United, because I do rate Spencer Owen and the shit he does.
Yeah, Spencer Owen.
And then because I just want to get a little bit of a football kit collection of like the teams I like overseas. So like a Barcelona kit, a Marseille kit, a Napoli kit.
Oh, Napoli, that's good.
Like an Ajax kit. Like
we're going niche, but I like it.
Anyway, you know what? I'll need to rewatch this episode back, but I think it's all.
We started this going, this is going to be really funny, and then we got really political, and then ranked drinks.
Drunk me gets no, genuinely. I actually think this.
Just have a chip.
Drunk me gets both passionate and quite sad about the state of the world. Like I can go about my day-to-day life and not get even the situation in America. Like, so I saw a TikTok, for example, about them having to create, it was like a pull-out thing where it, looks like a whiteboard, but it creates, its own room.
Oh, I saw that.
Where kids can hide in a school shooting. And I'm thinking, if you are getting to the stage where you are implementing whiteboard classrooms...
Please look at your Fifth
bulletproof whiteboards... Get rid of your fucking gun!
Whatever your amendment is, a right to self-defence, or whatever your 5th, 6th, 7th amendment is, maybe look at that.
I'm sorry.
That was made in the 1700s when fucking duelings were happening. That's not happening anymore. Please, can we get rid of your 6th amendment where school shootings happen all the daily?
You can self-defend yourself, but you can't self-defend your child when they are involved in a gun-shooting massacre.
What's your next step? Send your kids in school with a fucking revolver in their pocket? That is generally your next step of American...
Actually pisses me off.
That is your next step. I know we have no power, but I don't understand it. Fucking hell.
Subscribe to Mab, yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Hang in, lads.
Go watch Gulliver's Travels. Not the film, my video. Watch the film.